Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. This video is going to be super exciting because 2 weeks ago I ordered an entire box of Shein makeup. What? I've seen a lot of trending videos on YouTube where everyone tries out a full face of the She Glam makeup because Shein came out with a new brand called She Glam, and it's basically the brand of all the beauty products on Shein now. A lot of YouTubers have been doing reviews, so I thought, why not jump on the bandwagon and try out this makeup, because all of this looks so high quality. I could not wait to do this video. I looked at some of the products when I received them, and they look like fine china. I'm just kidding. They literally look like a high-end makeup product you find at Sephora. Literally the packaging and everything. So with all the excitement, I'm going to start this video now because I cannot wait any longer. But also, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also leave a comment. Let's get started. Okay, so the first product that we have to get started with today is a face primer. Every single time I do my makeup, I always have to use a face primer first. This is the She Glam Birthday Skin Primer in shade Pigment Perfector. They also had a pink version too, but I decided just to go with the white version. In a lot of other people's videos, they said this primer reminds them a lot of the e.l.f. Putty Primer. So this is what the packaging looks like. Isn't she so pretty? And it even comes with this cute little spatula to apply it with. I'm super excited. This packaging is gorgeous. This almost looks like Estee Lauder, kind of. I don't know. And Estee Lauder is a very expensive brand. But seriously, like, it has the brand name right on here. And then on the top of the lid, I don't know if you can tell because it's kind of reflecting off my camera, but it's just so like high quality feeling. It doesn't feel cheap. The packaging definitely gets a 10 out of 10 right off the bat. But let's open this sucker up and see what she looks like. Okay, right off the bat, it is very runny. I don't know if it's supposed to be like this or if it's because this box of makeup has been sitting in like my room and it's very hot in here. It doesn't seem like the AC works anymore, but this consistency, I'm gonna try not to dump this out because it is very runny. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, it's not focusing. Ooh, it's pouring out. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, there we go. It is kind of, ooh, I don't want to pour it out. But yeah, it's very runny. It kind of gives me like a clay mask kind of vibe right now because it's very runny. Like, no matter which way you turn it, it just kind of follows. So, let's apply this to my face and see how this works. So I'm going to take my little spatula they've given me. And I'm just going to scoop a little bit on it. Alright, let's apply. Yeah, this consistency is very much like a clay facial mask. I feel like I'm going to bed and this is like a nightly face cleansing routine that I have. I think this is enough. I'm gonna rub this in and, ooh, it smells good. It smells like, I don't know what the smell is, but it seems very familiar. Like it's like a icing? I don't know, but so far, this is not really blending into my skin that well. Did I get too much? Oh my gosh. You know what this looks like? Sunscreen. I feel like this is the look you want to root for if you are going to the beach when you're like a 2-year-old. How your mom just like lathers the sunscreen on your face. Oh my gosh, look at what I look like in the camera. I think I put too much. Yeah, because this is just not wanting to blend in, you guys. I literally look like that James Charles meme. I am Casper. Okay, I really don't know what else to do because I've been trying to blend this in my face for like 5 minutes. So I'm going to take this brush set that I ordered. This is the 20 pieces duo fiber makeup brush in color Champagne. I'm going to take these out and get a big face brush to see if it'll just help me blend this white out. Okay, I think this is honestly the best it's gonna get, so let's not take any more time on this primer. I give this like maybe a 3 out of 10, but let's try the foundation next to see if it can help cover some of this up. Alright, so for the foundation, this is the She Glam Complexion Pro Long Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation in shade Cashew. This is really nice packaging too. When I opened it, it was very heavy. So I was like, that seems good. Maybe it's a real glass bottle, unlike maybe a plastic bottle. But when I opened it, it came in this bougie velvet sleeve. What? And when I opened it, this literally looks just like the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. Like the bottle and everything looks just alike. It even has the exact same line. That's crazy. Like, this is such a nice bottle. I really hope it's as nice to my face as it is in this bottle, because we need to cover this up immediately. But it has a cute little gold little seal on the lid. I actually was kind of scared to pick out a foundation because I didn't know how to match my color. I didn't want to get something that was too light or too dark. But Shein actually has this little drop down bar where it helps you pick out your foundation. So you put in what foundation you normally use, and I put in Too Faced and then my shade Honey, and then they matched me to Cashew. So let's see how this works. I'm just gonna get a couple of pumps on my hand. I don't think this is gonna be a bad match, actually. Okay, I'm gonna use this powder brush number 20. I don't think that's gonna focus. All right, and let's just start applying this because I really need to cover this up. Okay, that's not a bad match at all. It does look a little orange, but I think orange is better than this ghostly Casper face we're getting right now. So, I'm not complaining. This kind of has a acrylic paint scent to it. Like, it smells just like paint. I'm a painter, I would know, but seriously, I mean, it doesn't feel like paint. Actually, I wouldn't know because I've never put paint on my face. But it has a nice texture to it. I don't think it feels too thick. I mean, I don't have it completely on yet, so I have to figure that out once I get the entire application on. So the foundation is applied, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's the humidity in here, but it kind of feels a little sticky and thick. It also might just be because this room doesn't have any air conditioning, so I'm not gonna shoot that down right away. But I mean, it looks really good. It matches me. I think they did a really good job matching my shade. I was very scared, to be honest, about that. But seriously, I think it looks really good. It looks a lot better than what my face looked like 5 minutes ago. So I give this an 8 out of 10 so far. I mean, I like the color. The coverage is good. It's very full coverage. I don't think it's light coverage or medium coverage. I think it is full coverage, which is nice sometimes when you want a full face of makeup, especially if you have a lot of acne or dark circles or whatever. But speaking of dark circles, let's head on right into the concealer. All right, so I have here the She Glam 12-Hour Full Coverage Concealer in shade Cinnamon. They also had a little color matcher drop down bar where you could insert what concealer you use today and the shade. So I inserted my Tarte Shape Tape and then in color light medium, and so it pulled me up to a cinnamon in their shade. So we're gonna see how this works. The foundation was spot on, so let's see if this is. I really like the applicator. Look at this. Very high quality so far, so let's apply. So far, the consistency feels good. I don't think the shade's too far off either. I think this is a good match. I don't really have a flat kind of tapered brush for concealer or anything liquid, so I'm just gonna take this pointed brush number 19 and blend in this concealer. This has the same consistency as the foundation, so it kind of makes me wonder if they just put the foundation in the concealer bottles but are selling it as concealer. I've always wondered that about concealer too, like if it's just foundation in a lighter shade, but you know, I'm not an expert. I'm an expert at applying makeup, but not an expert behind the science of it, so. Okay, so after I have it applied, it does look a little... There is a brush hair from my brush stuck on my nose. Yeah, these brushes have a lot of fallout, like the bristles, so I don't know if I like these a lot, but I mean, for only $8 for a pack of 20, they're doing the job. But I'm going to go back in with brush number 20 and kind of blend out my forehead with some of the leftover foundation it has in it, just to see if I can get a better match. so to set my foundation and concealer in place, I'm going to be taking the Shein Glam Baked Glow Setting Powder in color Light Brown. They only had about 5 different shades, and they range from translucent all the way to like a dark, deep mocha. The first 2 I thought they had were a little too light. They had light pink and cappuccino, and then the next one up was light brown, which is what I got. But after I opened it, it kind of looked a little too dark. But maybe since the concealer and the foundation made me look a little washed out, maybe this would help. But this is the packaging. This is the outside. Super cute. This is what this looks like. Very nice packaging. It's plastic. It does feel a little lower quality, the packaging for the setting powder. But hey, it's setting powder, so if it gets the job done, who cares? This is what it looks like up close. Super cute. It even comes with a cute little puff. And it feels like a really high quality puff. Like some makeup brands that come with a puff, it has the puffy side on one side and then like a paper plastic feeling kind of on the other side, but both sides feels super nice. All right, there's a plastic little sticker over this, so stand by.
2 hours later.
Very powdery already. Let's see. I'm gonna take my powder brush number 20 and I'm gonna just set in that. I'm gonna dump a little out on the lid. Okay, yeah, this actually isn't a bad color choice because it actually is blending everything nicely together, so it's not making me look as washed out, so that's good. And I'm getting also really shiny from sweating so much, and so it is doing its job by mattifying and taking the shine away, which I love in a setting powder. Awesome, so I give that a 9 out of 10, surprisingly. Okay, up next is my favorite part, the eyeshadow. Shein actually had a lot of different eyeshadows to pick out from, but since I like to stay more on the neutral brown side, I picked out the Shein Glam Smart Cookie Palette. Isn't this so cute? Alright, this is what it looks like. Isn't she so pretty? I like how on the back it has all the different shade names, because on most palettes I like to know what the shade names is, and usually that only comes on the clear sheet that comes inside of them, which I usually tend to throw away anyway, so that's good. But look how gorgeous these colors are. This reminds me of the Morphe 350 Supernatural Glow palette, but the matte side of those shades. Literally, this is such a pretty palette. I really hope the consistency of these shadows is what I like, because if it is, this might be my go-to eyeshadow palette every day because I'm loving every single one of these colors. Alright, so that brush set comes with, as you can tell, a lot more eyeshadow brushes than face brushes, so let's see which one I'm going to use first. This is the large shader brush number 1. So I'm going to take this and dip it into Fortune Teller, which is this little light nude beige shade right here on the top. And I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. So far the consistency is really smooth. It's easy to blend. It's not too powdery when you get it on your brush. Sometimes you can tell high quality eyeshadow between low end quality eyeshadow is when it starts powdering up really bad on your brush and in the pan. And this isn't actually bad at all. So it goes on really smooth too. I don't know if it's just because this is a lighter shade and I can't really tell what it's doing on my eye. But so far so good. Take the number 7 brush. This is called the blending brush, and I'm going to take the shade Bite Me, which is this one in the lower corner, this nice little neutral brown, and I'm going to apply this right on the crease of my eye. This one's going on just like the other one. I can't really tell much of a color change, so I'm going to try getting into the darker colors after this and seeing what happens. Next, I'm going to use the exact same brush, but I'm going to dip it into this shade called Love Chip, which is on the bottom row. It's this darker orange kind of burnt shade, and I'm going to put this right along my lash line and see if this makes a difference. Okay, I see a difference. color. I mean, it looks like it does in the pan. Alright, so now I'm going to go back in with my large shader brush number 1 and just blend those colors out because I think on this side I had a little too much and it's looking more pigmented than my right eye. So I'm just going to blend that out. I guess one good thing about cheaper eyeshadow palettes is since they aren't so pigmented, if you do mess up along the way, they're easy, very easy to go back and just touch up with a brush and blend all of them out together. Alright, next I'm going to go in with the eye crease brush number 8, which is this smaller tapered brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Devil's Food, which is this dark brown. And then I'm going to apply that to my lash line again, and then just see if this gives me some more definition. Alright, as soon as I'm dipping my brush into the shade is very powdery compared to all the other ones, so let's see if I have much fallout. Noticing right off the bat that this goes on good, but it doesn't blend out very easily. Gotta really work your wrist into this shape. Alright, so I feel like there's a lot more pigment right on my lash line rather than up in the crease area. So I'm going to go back in with large shader brush number 1 and dip it into this Coco Loco shade. This is the bottom row shade. This is more of a kind of pinkish brown. So I'm going to take this and see if it'll blend everything up towards my eyebrow a little more. Okay, that's not that bad, but this shade also doesn't blend as well as I thought it would. So I'm just going to give it a little more elbow grease. Okay, so I'm done with the top eyeshadow. It doesn't actually look that bad. This is my everyday eyeshadow look that I did in my very first video, so I'm kind of just redoing the whole thing with this makeup just to see how the two compare. So I'm going to do my bottom waterline now, and I'm going to take this brush. This is the Blending and Eyeshadow brush number 16. It's a double-sided brush, so it comes with a little fatter end this side and then a little flatter end on this side. So I'm going to dip it into the shade Bite Me again, and then I'm just going to apply this on my bottom lash line. And I'm also going to use the fatter end. Alright, I'm going to take the same brush, but this time using the opposite side with the little flatter side, and I'm going to dip it into Love Chip, which is this darker bottom shade, and I'm going to line my lash line. Alright, taking the same side of the same brush, I'm going to dip it into Devil's Food again, which is the darkest brown shade, and then I'm going to line my waterline, but only the outer corner. Alright, so now that I have that, using the same brush, I'm going to go back to the fatter end and just blend all three of those shades together. Okay, so this is the finished eyeshadow look. It's not bad at all. Comparing this to the Morphe palette that I use, it actually doesn't look much different. Like, maybe the consistency and the amount of times I had to reapply one color maybe is different, but the overall appearance, there's not much difference at all. So I really actually give this eyeshadow palette maybe a 7.5 out of 10, just because of the consistency. It's a little weak pigment wise, but application wise with this, it was a lot easier to apply and blend together than I was expecting. Okay, I'm super disappointed about this next step because I thought these eyelashes were going to fall off by now, because I put these on like 13 days ago and the package says they're only supposed to last 10 days and they have not fallen off yet. So I was going to be applying these fake eyelashes. This is the One Pair Faux Mink False Eyelashes in shade Black. But since I have my Ardells on still, it doesn't look like I'm going to be applying these today, which is really sad because these are really pretty. Like, look how pretty these are. They are so fluttery and airy and mink, which I love. These remind me a lot of the Lily lashes, like spot on. I'm so sad I can't apply these today, but Maybe once these suckers fall off, I will come back and make a video of applying these and see what they look like. So moving on, I'm going to be applying mascara now to the bottom eyelashes, and I'm going to go ahead and apply some to my top lashes as well because of the eyeshadow. It got into the little clusters and it made them look a little pale, just to make everything look a little nicer. I'm going to be taking the She Glam Wonder Wave Curling Mascara in shade Black. This is also a waterproof and curling mascara at the same time. Overall, the mascara bottle is super nice. It has this lifted text on the bottle, which makes it really elegant. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. It's not wanting to focus, but let's see what the wand looks like. Ooh, this is nice. This reminds me of the Essence Lash Princess. If I look really close, it has some microfibers in it, so I think this is going to help with the lengthening, but let's see. This is what the wand looks like. Super skinny. I love these kind of wands because it actually helps with volumizing and getting every little lash. So I'm going to apply this to my bottom lashes now. Alright, so I'm going to do the top lashes now. Okay, so the first thing I noticed right off the bat while applying this mascara is the consistency is very, very thin. I had to go back and reapply like 6 more coats off camera because it would not apply the first round. So it looks like a lot coats the brush whenever you pull the brush out of the applicator, but it just didn't go on well. Like I thought it would because of how good the consistency looked on the brush, but it took me about 6 to 7 coats just to get them coated, and I still feel like they're not even that coated. I would give this mascara maybe a 4 out of 10. Sorry, She Glam, but this is not one of my favorite products. Okay, I'm kind of excited for this next product. So for usually this part in the routine, I do my eyebrows. So like I mentioned in my first video, I usually apply like a clear brow glue or just something to make the hairs just stay in place. But I decided to go with a pomade this time. This is the She Glam Boss Brow Waterproof Pomade in dark brown. So I normally don't do a pomade, but I used to actually wear a pomade every day. I use the Benefit Ka-Brow, and then now I've been starting to use the Anastasia Dip Brow. So I wanted to get this and see how the two compared. When I first opened it out of the package, it comes in this cute little case. I wouldn't really call this a case, more a tray-like, but it comes with the pomade and then a little applicator brush. This brush is kind of thicker than the brush I would normally use to apply pomade with, but since it came with this, I'm gonna try it out and just see how this works. Ooh, comes with a little plastic film or tinfoil film. Not most pomades do, so that's kind of nice. Okay, right off the bat, this consistency looks really good actually. I don't think it looks too liquidy, too solid. Too solid, I mean like too dry maybe? But I'm intrigued, so let's try this. Okay, immediately it goes right on the brush super well. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It looks very creamy, the consistency does. I'm kind of scared to use this brush because usually when I apply pomade, I use like a smaller, thinner eyebrow brush. But since it came with this, and this is a full face of Shein makeup, I'm gonna try this out. Okay, the consistency is actually going on pretty nice. This reminds me a lot of the Anastasia Dip Brow because of the consistency. It's more creamy than it is dry and solid, whereas the Ka-Brow by Benefit is more on the drier and kind of chalkier side, if that makes sense. But this actually reminds me a lot of the Dip Brow that Anastasia has. Okay, not bad at all. Okay guys, literally my camera died right in the middle of me shooting. So I'm gonna pick up where I left off. So I got my right eyebrow done, so let's continue with my left eyebrow. So this actually isn't that bad of a product. I have no complaints about this so far. It went on just like the Anastasia Dip Brow. The consistency feels the same. I really don't think that this is actually a bad product at all. I think this is a good product. So I give this a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I hadn't worn it all day, so I don't know how it's gonna stay on my face, especially when I sweat and when I leave it on for a long amount of time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lowball it to a 9.5, but I mean, it's so good, it could be a 10 out of 10, so Alright, so one thing that I always do every time after I apply the eyebrow pomade, I go back in with concealer just to shape them up a little bit. So I'm going back in with my She Glam concealer, and then I'm going to use, this is the flat definer brush number 13, and I'm just going to dip my brush into that and go right underneath and above my eyebrows. So my brows are done. I'm really liking this actually. I think these look on fleek. That's like a term from like 2016, but seriously, I really think that this pomade and the concealer go really well together. So, next step. This is the She Glam 3D Pro Face Palette in color Dune. And I'm actually really excited to use this because one shade is a cream shade and then all three are powders. So, this is what the packaging looks like. It's really cute, actually. I really like this. It comes with another little plastic liner. These are what the shades look like. They look very nice. It only comes with one matte bronzer, and matte bronzer is what I always use to contour my face. So I'm just gonna try it. Okay, this is actually really powdery, so I'm just gonna dust off a little bit on the top. But I'm gonna be using my pointed brush number 19 to contour my face. Okay, this consistency is giving me chalk vibes. It's not really blending out. As soon as I put it on my face, it like sticks wherever I put the brush down. So it's kind of hard to blend, but let's just continue. What is that? I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's like this bronzer picked up the left side of my face's foundation, or the primer that I used in step 1 is like peeking through. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's like a white splotch. Something crazy going on right here. I don't know if I like that. But let's see if we can cover it up with a little more bronzer. Ugh, I don't think this is working. It's just not blending out the way I would like. I don't know if it's because the foundation's a little sticky or cakey feeling. It also might just be because it's really hot in here and I'm sweating, but I don't know. I mean, it's getting a little better with blending, but I normally don't think a bronzer should do that. So, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, I guess. I'm gonna move on to my forehead now. But see, like what I mean, it just kind of sticks in one spot. So I put my brush down right here, and as I'm trying to blend it, you still get one just spot in the center of your forehead. Not sure how I'm liking it. Alright, now I'm just going to contour my nose. Okay, so I think that's the best it's gonna get. I don't think there's really much saving I can do, but in that case, I give this bronzer maybe a 6.5 out of 10, just because it didn't blend very easily, and wherever you applied it, it literally just stuck to your face, and no matter how hard you tried to blend it, it just seemed to stay in one place. So I don't really like that about bronzer. So yeah, 6.5, sorry, but let's see what this little shimmer looks like. The shade right here. I normally tend to not add a shimmer to my bronzer, but I'm just gonna try it out and see what it looks like. So, whoa. Okay, maybe that was a mistake. Look, I literally just have like a gold ball on my face. Okay, that was a really bad idea, you guys. I don't know why that is in here. Since I did it to this side, I'm gonna have to do it to this side. Well, I guess if you're going for a glowy, dewy look, that's the shade to use, because I am glowing. I look like I should be in like Euphoria or something with this on my face right now. It looks so bad. Okay, I'm going to try to cover it up with the bronzer again, the matte bronzer. Now I feel like I'm just really layering on some cake. So before I get any deeper in this situation, I'm just going to move on to blush now. Okay, for my blush palette, this is the She Glam Sweet Treats Blush Trio in shade Enamored. Am I pronouncing that right? Enamored? Enamored? I don't know. Never heard that word before. But the packaging's cute. This is what the outside looks like. And this is what the 3 shades look like. Not a bad choice at all. I like the middle one. I tend to go for more of the peachier blush shades just because I don't like my cheeks extra rosy. So I'm going to try that one out. Okay, so from the brush set, it looks like I only have 2 face brushes to pick from, which is the powder brush I used and then the bronzer brush. So they didn't really give me a blush brush. So I'm just going to use my bronzer brush just to see how this works because I don't have anything else. That's very powdery too. I'm going to knock some of that off. Okay, this is really, really pigmented. I don't know if y'all can tell on camera, but like as soon as I put this on my face, it's like I just took a big piece of pink chalk and just rubbed it on my face. I don't know if you can tell, but it's not the worst. I think it's picking up some of that bronzery, shimmery stuff underneath. It is very vibrant, to say the least. Very, very pigmented. Like, this is like kind of the blush you should wear if you're acting on a stage with tons of lights. That kind of blush, because I know in film you have to wear a crap ton of blush so you're not washed out by the lights. But this blush, it's not my favorite. This is not it. This is way too pink, and like no matter how much I try to like absorb some of it into my brush, it's just not going away. Yeah, okay, so just because of the consistency, I'm not really liking it. It is very pigmented. I think this would be perfectly fine as a eyeshadow, like if you're going for a bright pink eyeshadow look, because there is nothing wrong with the pigment there. So if you're looking for a bright, fun eye look, I would definitely use this blush palette as an eyeshadow palette. So maybe I'll do a video where I use this as eyeshadow and maybe it will have a better rating then. But as blush, I just rated a 6. So, okay, up next we have highlighter. This is the She Glam Cosmetic Crystal Mousse Highlighter in shade Vanilla Sky. The packaging's really cute. This kind of reminds me of the Morphe 2 packaging where they have the plastic. But this is the outside. It's super cute. As I'm looking at it, it doesn't really look like a mousse. Yeah, this is a powder. This is not a mousse. So I don't know where they got that information. This is not a mousse. But I mean, hey, I'm not going to knock it until I try it. So in the brush set, they actually come with this little fan brush, which is really good for highlighter. This is the small fan brush, number 11. So I'm going to dip that right into this highlighter. Okay, so this is not powdery at all. Maybe that's why they call it a mousse, is because when you put your applicator in, there is no fallout. It's like it just smooths it down. I don't know if y'all can tell. As I'm putting the applicator inside the powder, there's like nothing happening. I don't feel like it's picking up anything. But let's try it on my face and see what it looks like. Okay, so it's a very subtle highlighter. It doesn't really match the shade because this actually looks like the color that I put on top of my bronzer. And that was more of a darker gold color. So I'm going to compare the two. So this shade is giving off this shade vibe. And those two look nothing alike. So I'm not really sure why it's giving off a darker shade kind of vibe, but I don't know if I like it because I tend to like brighter highlighters that give off the more crystally white kind of shimmer look, whereas this one's giving off more of a gold kind of look, just like that bronzer did, which I didn't like, but it's what I have. I don't have anything else. So I'm gonna put this under my eyebrow arch. And then I'm going to go into the corner of my eyes like I always do. So to go into the corner of my eyes, I'm going to take this eye blender number 15. It's a small kind of packed tapered brush. And I'm going to get that on my brush and put it in the corners. So I think this is like a nice shade for the inside corner of my eye. I like it actually. I wouldn't typically like it as a highlighter shade. Let's see if it'll brighten up a little bit. Nope, didn't. But I like it for the inner corner of my eyes rather than the cheekbone of my face. But that's just me. I think it looks really good. So if I was rating this as an eyeshadow, I would probably give this an 8 out of 10. But as a highlighter, I would say maybe a 7 out of 10 just because of the color. Some people may like a darker, golder kind of highlight look, but I like the more brighter, crystallized look for a highlighter. Okay, last step of this makeup routine is the lipstick. Alright, so this is the She Glam Matte Alert Lipstick in shade Self-Made Babe. I took a sneak peek at this when it came in and I'm absolutely shook by the quality of this. It comes in a metal casing. Look at this. It's like so freaking good quality. It has like a magnetic kind of tip to it, so whenever you put the lid on it, it just like snaps in place. The quality is amazing, and when you roll it up, look how pretty that is. This is such a pretty color. When you zoom in on the shade, it has She Glam on the freaking lipstick. Like, how bougie is that? I know not all lipsticks, like even high quality lipsticks, not all of them have the monogrammed or embroidered, or what's the word, indentation on the lipstick itself. So let's try this on. This is a matte shade, so hopefully it looks good and it's actually a matte shade. I tried to get as close to the shade as my 2020 Juvia's Place lipstick because I absolutely love that shade. So let's see how close they resemble each other. Okay, that is like spot on. I love this color. What the heck? And the consistency feels nice. And it smells just like Juvia's Place lipstick. Is this Juvia's Place lipstick inside a Shein container? Because they're full of me. This smells just like the Juvia's Place lipstick. Oh, what? Alright, so that is the lipstick applied. Oh, I think this is such a beautiful color. I honestly think this has been my favorite product out of this entire makeup routine. Just because the quality is so good, I immediately knew as soon as I got this out of the packaging, I would love this lipstick, and I love it even more on. Dang, I'm going to start getting lipsticks from Shein now because literally this was only $4.49, whereas the Juvia's Place lipstick that is similar to this was I think $12 at Ulta. And like I said, this is the exact same consistency, smell, and quality. So I'd spend like 20-30 bucks on like 5 or 6 tubes of this rather than spending 20-30 bucks on 2 things of it at Ulta at Juvia's Place. But seriously, like, I am really shocked by the quality of this lipstick. So I give this an 11 out of 10. I don't even think that's possible, but yeah, this is such good quality lipstick. And this is the finished makeup look. I'm actually very impressed on how all these products did on my face, the consistency of all of them. Not that primer though. That primer was a little bit of a rough start, but other than that, I really think all these products did their job, and for the price, I think they did amazing, especially for the price. I only spent like $65 on over like 15 makeup products, whereas you can spend easily $65 at Ulta on one makeup product itself. Their foundation after tax, you can easily spend like $65, especially on like an eyeshadow palette. You can spend up to $100 on one eyeshadow palette at Ulta or Sephora. So I think all this makeup, 15 products under $100, you cannot beat. So just like in all of my previous videos, I'll link every product that I used in this video in the description below, as well as a link to the product itself. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with half of this makeup that I used. I think I'm actually gonna start using some of this in my everyday makeup look, especially this lipstick, because of how good the quality of this stuff was. And I'm very surprised because Shein makeup has come a long way. I know some of it was a little lower end on the cakier and powdery side, but most of these products, they have been updated and revamped, and I think they're actually good products to use on an everyday basis if you want to go the cheaper route than Sephora or Ulta, the high-end makeup. So with that being said, I have no complaints really. But thank you guys so much again for watching. I really had a fun time shooting this video. I thought it was super fun trying out all these different products on camera for you guys, because as soon as I got these in, I opened them and I was so excited to shoot it right then and there. But I had to wait because I can't post videos every single day, because you might get bored of me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.